Hello, everyone, and welcome to this roundtable. So today we're going to be discussing about an important topic that it's really important for everyone to know, but especially for teachers, so they can know how important it is to teach and to make children acquire language until the age of 6. So today's topic is sensitive periods in child development. So it said that children, since they born, they're more likely and more able to acquire a language since children learn through the senses. And it's also said that children, when they're born, they have very powerful capacity to acquire any kind of language. So it happens that when children turn to the age of 13, it's more difficult for them to acquire language since it's a conscious process that takes a lot of time and responsibility. So today, maybe now you're wondering if this is true or if this is false. Today we have two stories about two girls that went through a lot of problems, and so now you can have a better idea if this is true or if this is false. So today we have three panelists today in our roundtable. So the first one is Andrea Mendez, our panelist. So she's gonna share with us a little bit about this girl called Jenny. So please go ahead, Andrea Mendez.
Okay, this girl, Jenny, was found in Los Angeles, locked in a dark room and tied to a chair from the age of 20 months until 13 years. The test of her brain looked similar to ones of child whose left hemisphere had been removed. This girl couldn't walk correctly, eat properly, or speak any language.
Very good. Thanks for sharing that important story about this girl called Jenny. So as you can see, this girl didn't have social interaction, so that's why this girl wasn't able to learn any language. Now we have our next panelist. Her name is Paula Gonzalez. So she's gonna talk about a little bit more about this girl called Jenny. So please go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Andrea, but I want to add something. After to be in the hospital for several months, she learned around 800 words, but she only learns individual words. She was never able to correctly use grammar or put the words together to make meaningful sentences. Also, after tasting was done, it was comforting that she was not mentally healed, in that her difficulties were found because of being neglected for such a long time. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that important information about this girl. So yeah, as we can see, this girl never was able to go to school or talk to anyone else. So she was always in the dark room, tied to the chair. So as we can see, this is really true, right? This girl wasn't able to learn any language anymore. So now we have our next panelist. Her name is Diana Soto. So she's gonna share a little bit more about another girl who went to a similar problem compared to this girl. So please go ahead, Diana Soto.
Well, I also know a case about a girl named Isabelle was discovered living in a dark room with her deaf mute mother. When Isabelle was discovered, she was almost 7 years old and had no sense of language. In this case, when authorities found her, they believed that she was also deaf and mute like her mother because she could only make noises.
Yeah, thank you very much. So as we can see here, it's a really important story about this girl called Isabelle. So as we can see now, I guess now you're wondering if this is true, if this is false. Now I think those two stories about these two girls help us to have a better idea of how this is true, right? About how the census and how the age of 6 until 13, it's kind of a difficult process and a different process, right? So I know a little bit more about this girl called Isabel, right? So I also know that this girl, as you say, was in this in this was always like the whole time in this dark room, right? So she wasn't able to go to school or talk to any people. So authorities, when they found her, they thought that this girl was also deaf mute as her mom, but it wasn't like that. After some time, authorities and doctors try to help her how to speak, And so that's basically how this girl acquired the language, right? This girl learning how to speak, because she was until the age of 7. So she was still able to acquire language. So because, compared to the other girl, called Jenny, this girl was already 13. So this girl wasn't able to learn any language anymore. So as we can see here, children, when they born, they have, more active their right hemisphere, and so they learn through the senses, right? And that's the perfect time when they can learn a language, compared to this other girl who was just 7, so she was able to learn. So thank you everyone for sharing today's your opinions and your stories about these 2 girls. So thank you very much.
Thank you.